Good morning, good morning, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of the day this video may find you. Thank you so much for returning to my channel. If you are a returning viewer or if you are one of my amazing subscribers. If you are new to the channel, welcome, and I hope to see you again. So listen, people, I like to do my introduction and just dive right in to respect your time. Today, I wanted to do a video that is somewhat of an extension of a video I recently did about what I call spouse swapping. And in that video, I discussed about how we are marrying into toxic relationships basically before we have a strong relationship with God. And in many cases, most cases, hoping that this person finds a relationship with God. And when that doesn't happen, then the toxicity level gets so extreme to the point that a divorce, a separation has to happen. And in the video, excuse me, in the video, I talked about like marriages 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of marriage. So go look at that video. If it's probably be good for you to go look at that video, so I won't have to repeat too much about what I said in that video in this video. What I wanted to add though to this video, people, is we're not only swapping spouses when we are getting into these relationships and recycling people. Basically, like I said, we're recycling toxic people that did not get it right. They did not do what they needed to do to keep their relationship with their spouse and their children together. People that they just couldn't pull it together. They didn't care enough to work on themselves so they can stay in their marriage. And what I called that was, in that video, was the person that would pick up those people is picking up someone else's trash. And the reason I called the person someone else's trash is because if you are a person and you vow to God for better, for worse, and you vow to love and honor, respect your wife. You vow to love your wife like God treats the church, like God loves the church, and you didn't hold down your part, but you want the woman to submit to abuse, because that's what you're doing, people. People don't understand, or at least they pretend like they don't understand, when they keep telling women to submit to your husbands. You need to just submit to your husbands. And this is something that's kind of personal for me. I remember, if you've seen some of my videos, you know that I was in a 35-year relationship, 28-year marriage. And I remember back, I believe I was in the marriage probably at the time, maybe 12 years into it. I went to my pastor's at the time wife and spoke with her about some of the toxic things that were going on. And it was very hurtful to me for her to tell me, submit to your husband. That was her answer. And this is one of the things that a lot of people are very, very upset with the church about. I mean, I'm going to have to talk about that on a whole nother video, but I'm going to speak on it just a little bit. When the worst thing that a Christian can do is to be weak. To be weak and not stand up for righteousness. Jesus stood up for righteousness, okay? And this woman, I feel like, you know, she had a husband, has a husband that is a pastor. And I think both of them knew the Lord before they got married. And they had done things. I don't believe, I'm not sure. I'm thinking that they even waited till after marriage and everything or whatever, but they had a totally different kind of marriage. And this was one of the reasons why I actually went to her, because I felt like if I go to her and talk to her, then she'll talk to her husband, my pastor, and he may have a word with my then husband. But no, she was too chicken as a woman to do that. She was scared that her husband, because she is trying to help another woman, a sister, would be angry with her because he as a male feel like that the woman should submit even to her abusive husband. If that's the husband that she picked, if he has become an abusive person, then she needs to submit to him. That is not biblical. That is not biblical, people. But I'm just mentioning this to just kind of bring up how people are in these situations and having to stay in them or being in them for so long, trying to make them work, and the other person is not doing their part. And a person that your spouse has worked for decades or years or whatever, and they're trying so hard to respect you, submit to you. You know, men, y'all are saying that y'all want us to submit and respect. We tried so hard to do that. We wanted to do it. But of course, an abuser does not become a better person the more they abuse. An abuser becomes a better abuser the more they abuse. The more someone allows an abuser to abuse them, they become more toxic and more abusive. So when we submit to wrong, it doesn't help. I know, I've lived it. I went through over 3 decades, 3.5 decades of my life. I'm 55. I got with this man when I was 20 years old. I went through 3.5 decades trying to submit and wait for change and pray for change and support and all that and everything. And the person just got worse. That's what happens, people. That's what happens. And this is why I say that they're somebody else's trash. Because literally you have an entity that you've given every opportunity in the world to change and become something better than trash. And they just kept wanting to waddle like the pigs in the pig pen and be trash. Now, listen, people, I love a good redemption story. I am not saying this to put people down in a way of to judge them if they had if they were a person that had chose to stay in that state of being in a trash situation, waddling in the pen, because we all know about the prodigal son. Okay, I love a prodigal son story. Okay, but at the same breath, we cannot ignore that this is true, people. So when we talk about these things, it is not because we are just saying, oh, you just a piece of trash, you're no good forever. We're basically saying that the person that you are today, yeah, you are trash. It's up to you whether you want to look in that mirror and actually see what it is that you are, and if you want to change. But ladies, we all know this to be true, the ones that have been in these relationships. And I'm not talking about situationships and things like that. Um, Situationships can turn into marriage. I'll talk about that on another video. In many cases, people don't even know they're in situationships. But I can tell you this, people, those chronic STDs that I keep talking about, they're running rampant. They're running rampant. And the Black community, I know, is suffering severely behind it. Yeah, the numbers, it's just that. Woo, y'all. Just like you look at these stars here, they're in a network of people. And you listen to the stories, and you hear this one gave this one this, and then this one gave this one this, and this one gave this one this. And there are particular chronic STDs that is just running rampant in those circles because they're just swapping partners. This one get finished with them, then that one get them, and that one get finished with her, and then that one get one. They're just bouncing them around. And that's what we're doing, like I said, with this spouse swapping thing. They have this thing called irreconcilable differences to soften up what actually happened in the marriage. We all know that it was more than just about something that the two couldn't work out. You know, but that's a way to let the toxic person off, to say that, you know, hey, I'm not a bad person. What I'm doing is not bad, to mentally, verbally, emotionally, in some cases physically, and cheating, lying, being deceptive, manipulating, all those things. It was nothing wrong with me doing that. That's what that's saying, that irreconcilable difference. It's saying it was nothing wrong with me doing that. It's just, you know, hey, I was this kind of person and I did those things. And me and my wife or husband, we just couldn't come to terms with them accepting me being that horrible kind of person. That's what it is. That's what it is. But y'all, I said a whole lot on this video because it's so many layers to it. I did, you know, start out wanting to just talk about the spouse swapping, and extensive on that leads into bringing in about the chronic STDs and how we're swapping it around. This is how it's just floating through the communities. And it's doing this because we're just swapping up. Like this person gets to this person, and now that person's with Jack, and then Jack's now with Cindy, and now Keisha's now with Mac, and you know, just now Mac and Keisha broke up, and now Mac is now with Sharon, and you know, it's just, and we're literally giving these younger people no incentive to want to follow what it is that we're doing. No. But this is all part of y'all, us, this fornicating thing. I've talked about it on videos as well. We're not supposed to be doing it. And I know. So many people are just not going to give that up. But, you know, God protects us for so long. And then, you know, the fruits of our labor has to, you know, we plant those seeds. The fruits are going to be produced. And if you can't see clearly that part of that fruit of us running around here fornicating and being adulterers and everything is not these chronic STDs, then okay. And us behaving immorally in intimacy, you know, if you can't see that, then, you know, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. But listen, people, when we get out of these relationships, we're not supposed to be looking for nobody else. We're supposed to be submitting to God and letting God run what actually happens. We're supposed to be just working on getting ourselves right with God and let God put in your heart and the hearts of the other person what it is that he wants you to do. Stop letting the world tell you, oh, go out there and get you somebody else. Get back out there and date. You know, that's what you need. It's not scriptural. It's deep. I'm going to, you know, do a video pretty soon here and talk about like scripture-wise and everything about all of this. But I can tell you right now, if you go to the book of Proverbs and Corinthians, it's 2 Corinthians, you'll be able to see the supporting evidence that I'm talking about on these matters. But anyways, people, I went over my time on the video. I love you. I love you. I love you. And listen, for me, I'm doing this because in terms of a relationship, I don't see myself getting into another. And it has nothing to do with somebody's broken me down to a point that, you know, it's just, I'm not willing to participate in this swapping thing. Look, I married to stay married to death do us part. And I'm in it. And it was not my plan for it to end up now 8 months legally divorced, you know. But, you know, I had to accept the choices that my ex-spouse made. And what I want to do is try to help others not get to where I am. To try to help the younger people change their ways and their stance on relationships and marriage so they won't even start it, you know, to try to help save some of the people that are in the situation that I was in towards the end of my marriage for the last 15 years of my marriage. Yes, I believe in miracles. I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. And I love, like I said, a prodigal son, a good redemptive story. So, you know, for those of you that think I'm crazy, then think on. Think on. I do believe that my videos are going to help someone. I do believe what I'm putting out there in the world, what I got coming, is going to help somebody. But anyways, y'all, I love you. I love you. I love you. And I'll see you on the next video.